Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. This time we are going to be talking about my 5 favorite beat 'em ups so far. So let's talk a little bit about the selection criteria. So these are all games that I had to have played for this channel. This is not supposed to be like an all-time list. There would be way more arcade games on here if that was the case. So yeah, let's get into the list, and first one up is Alien Storm. This was a game that I really hadn't played before until I started collecting games, and even then it took me a while to really get to it. Mostly because I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I was just collecting a lot of stuff and sticking it on a shelf. I wasn't really paying too much attention to them. But once I started playing it, it was a pretty awesome game. It was pretty unique for what it is, and it kind of stood out a little bit from the other games on this list, especially when it went into these first-person shooter-like stages, which still feel a little bit like a beat 'em up. There is some repetition in it, obviously, because it's a beat 'em up, and some of the characters get palette swapped a bit too much. Now this is one, oh my gosh, Pirates of Dark Water, this is one that I was not expecting to be as good as it was. It was great. I had no idea that this even existed until a couple of years ago when I wanted to kind of, I was a little bored, to be perfectly honest, and I needed something to do, let's just say while the health crisis was going on. So I started finding a whole bunch of older stuff that I used to play and stuff that I used to watch. And I found this game as well as the Genesis game, but this one was actually a beat 'em up and the Genesis one was not. This is an amazing game. Definitely check it out if you get a chance. Golden Axe 2 is just a classic Genesis game and a classic arcade game. The whole Golden Axe series is really great. This one is a game that I played a lot growing up, mostly after I started collecting games. So like late 90s, early 2000s is when I really discovered the Golden Axe series, and this one was really awesome. I like it a lot more, well, not really a lot, but a little bit more than the first Golden Axe game. That's why it made it onto this list. And I haven't played the Arcade 1-Up game for this channel yet, aside from just reviewing the initial cabinet. So that's why Golden Axe 2 is here. Final Fight is an amazing game. It really is. It's so much fun to play, and it had a huge impact on the Street Fighter franchise. You're going to find a lot of characters that are in the Final Fight series that are going to pop up in future Street Fighter games. It's also an incredibly good beat 'em up. While the SNES port isn't all that great, it is still a very good game. It's just not really my favorite one of the series. I think I prefer Final Fight 2 on the SNES. I know that the arcade games are better, but I'm just talking about the home console ones right now. This is a really awesome game, though. My preferred way to play this is on the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, so yeah, I was playing on an Xbox, and it's just a lot of fun because you have unlimited continues, and it just feels like a free-to-play mode on an arcade game. For the most part, these are not in any real order, but if they were, Streets of Rage would be my favorite one so far. It's just an absolutely spectacular game. And yeah, I have so many more memories of playing this one than I do of the other games on this list. The fact that this one was actually 2-player, unlike Final Fight, and it had all the characters in it, unlike the Final Fight version, or the Final Fight port on the SNES, it just kind of elevates Streets of Rage above that version of Final Fight. The arcade version and the subsequent releases, those kind of fix a lot of the problems I had with the SNES version of Final Fight, but yeah, Streets of Rage is still going to be my favorite out of all of them. if you get a chance to play Streets of Rage, really any one of the Streets of Rage games, definitely check it out. I'm still a little bit upset that there isn't an arcade version of this. So let's get into my final thoughts here. There are a lot more beat 'em ups that I have not played yet, so this list will probably evolve next year at some point. But for right now, these 5 are my favorite out of all the ones that I've played so far. I don't think I've missed anything. There are a few that I've played that obviously are not going to make the list because I really just... they didn't do as much to kind of elevate themselves like these games did. I also don't have a whole lot of memories of playing, some of the other ones that I played for this. There are also a few arcade games that never got a home console port, which really sucks. Like the X-Men arcade or the Simpsons arcade is a big one that didn't get brought to the home console. I know it was on DOS, but that's not really the same. I think it was also on Commodore 64 as well. Oh, and the Spider-Man arcade game. That one was amazing. It was weird, but it was amazing. So that's going to wrap everything up, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like the list, if you have other games that you think should be added onto it, or stuff that I should play, please let me know. Talk to y'all later. Bye.